Good day, listeners. I am Johnsel Argakutan from BP Ed 2A, and I'm going to discuss the land ownership in the Philippines under American and Spanish rule. Land ownership in the Philippines under American. During American occupation of the Philippines, land ownership in the country underwent significant changes. The Americans introduced a new land registration system which replaced the traditional Spanish system that had been in place. This new system made it easier for individuals to obtain legal title on their land, and it introduced the concept of private land ownership for the first time in the Philippine history. Under American land registration system, land was surveyed and divided into individual parcels which were then registered in the name of the owner. This made it much easier for landowners to prove their ownership of a particular piece of land, and it also helped to prevent disputes over land ownership. In addition to introducing private land ownership, the American occupation also led to the transfer of a large amount of land from the traditional landed elite to American corporations. This was particularly true in the agricultural sector, where American companies acquired significant amounts of land for the cultivation of crops such as sugar, tobacco, and rice. Overall, the American occupation of the Philippines had a significant impact on land ownership in the country. It introduced new concepts of private ownership and made it easier for individuals to obtain legal title to their land. However, it also led to the transfer of large amounts of land from the traditional landowners to American corporations. Land ownership in the Philippines under Spain. During the Spanish colonial period in the Philippines, the concept of land ownership was based on the Spanish legal system, which recognized the rights of private individuals to own land. The Spanish government granted land to individuals, families, and organizations through a process called land grant. This process was used to distribute land to Spanish settlers as well as to indigenous communities who were considered to be the original inhabitant of the land. Indigenous Filipino tribes were largely displaced from their ancestral lands, were not recognized as rightful owners of the land, meaning to say land ownership was based on Spanish law of hacienda, which granted large landed estates to Spanish land ownership and granted rights to the native Filipinos to use the land for farming and other forms of labor. This system of land ownership was largely based on feudal system and granted little rights or autonomy to the native Filipinos. However, under American land ownership, the concept of land ownership was based on private property ownership, which granted individuals the right to own and control land for their own use and benefit. This system of land ownership was intended to promote economic development and provide opportunities for individuals to own and develop their own land. Overall, the differences between land ownership under American and Spanish rule in the Philippines were largely based on different legal and political systems that were in place during period, and the rights and the autonomy granted to individuals under each system.